Yep.
Yeah.
We're,
Okay.
all right. Hey, folks, how you doing? I hope you're having a great Thursday night wherever you are. This is David Hammond, and this is Game Show Talking Fun. Scott, on me, buddy.
I'll figure this thing out sooner or later.
All right. Folks, this is how it works. If you want to get in on a conversation, just log into our chat room. We also have our Facebook open. We also have a lot of avenues. Just look for Lost Silver Productions. You can find us anywhere. Let me introduce you to our panel tonight. We have Scott from New.
Hello.
We have Wojcik. He's an alumni from our original podcast.
Mazel tov, everyone.
Oh yeah, that's right. Right. Happy New Year to all our Jewish friends. We have Charles Bergman from Houston.
How you doing? This is the Big C, Charles Bergman here. How y'all doing tonight?
And we have Antonio Gray. How you doing, Antonio?
I'm doing fine.
Good to hear. Okay, guys. Subject tonight is game shows 2017, 2018, and game show alumni. Where are they now? So let's get this party started. Probably with the obvious one. The Price is Right. The new pricing game, Gridlock.
Okay, Gridlock. New Price is
Okay.
Right game, Gridlock.
Okay. Now, if anybody listening has not seen it yet, it's pretty much a rework of the classic pricing game Penny Ante, only you're trying to figure out a price of a car instead of the price of 2 grocery items.
Basically, it's Penny Ante 2.0.
Pretty much is what it is. So, Charles, I'm going to come to you first. Gridlock on The Price is Right. Smash or trash?
Smash.
Okay, why is Gridlock a smash, in your opinion?
Basically the same format, and boy, it is a cool one. You know, in like the original version of Penny Ante, you had like the they'd guess within a certain price, and you had to guess within the money. You know, basically it's just like Penny Ante.
Okay.
So I say that's a smash, or 2 thumbs up, as Siskel and Ebert would say.
Okay. Watch. Same question to you. Gridlock, smash or trash?
Well, first of all, the way that Drew explained it wasn't really clear if they get 2 chances per set of digits or just because in the playing that we saw on the premiere, we saw one person get the second and third digits right and get 2 chances on the last 2 and losing. So it's unclear if they get 2 chances per set or just 1 or if it's 3 total. So I really need to see more playings before I can get a full picture of that. But for the time being, it's just trash.
Okay.
I wonder if they kept the old sound effect for that.
They didn't.
Ah.
Okay. Okay, meh. All right then. Scott, your opinion. Gridlock, Price is Right. Smash or trash?
Good to see a fresh take on Penny Ante and everything. When I first saw it, I thought it was a newer version of Bump.
I would say, if this is me talking, I'd say Bump is due for a revival, but that's me.
And I agree with you on that one.
Okay. Antonio, Gridlock on The Price is Right. Smash or trash?
I will have to go with trash as of now because I don't know how the game is going to work going forward because Drew never explained how to play the game and everything. And in my opinion, it's kind of missing one element to the thing to make it perfect for me.
Yeah, it also crossed Penny Ante with Money Game. It's basically just Money Game, but quicker.
All right, we'll see.
Now, did they retire Money Game, or is that still in rotation?
It's still in rotation.
Okay.
So basically, it's kind of like a mix-up between Penny Ante and Money Game, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay.
And Scotty said that was trash, right? The Penny Ante, right?
That was
Smash.
me and Antonio.
mean, Scott, what'd you say? Trash, smash or trash on it?
Smash.
Scott said smash.
Okay, sorry. Antonio, trash. Okay, good.
All right,
Yeah, I'm
then.
putting it down like on a list so I can write it down.
All right then, Charles. Let's go to you for this one. For this next one.
Okay.
There are two things we need to talk about as far as Wheel of Fortune.
Okay.
The first and the obvious choice is that now you have a choice of 3 categories for the bonus round. Is this smash or trash for Wheel of Fortune? Charles, take it away.
For me, it's for me. I say smash because it kind of gives me a throwback of the other version of Wheel of Fortune that they use for kids, Wheel 2000, like during the regular gameplay round. So I say for me it's
Right.
smash just because it's a throwback. That's why.
Okay. Watch over to you. Having the choice of 3 categories in the bonus round, smash or trash?
Well, just because something is throwback or nostalgic doesn't automatically make it good. And based on what the episodes I've seen, it doesn't seem like there's any clear level of difficulty that changes for each category. It looks to me like all 3 of the categories are the same level of difficulty, which they can set, since the bonus rounds are won only once a week or twice a week. So it really doesn't make a difference as far as just increasing the win record or putting the more faith in the contestants' hands. So it really made no difference to me. Trash.
Okay.
Matt, trash.
Scott, what about you? Is this smash or trash?
Kind of in the middle, but leaning towards smash on this one because, like Woj said, it's leaving the fate to the contestants in their hands, and we'll have to see as the seasons go on because they're bringing something new to the table for Wheel, and they're trying to keep the show fresh.
Okay. Antonio, wrap it up. Choosing from 3 categories in the bonus round, smash or trash?
I'm agreeing with Woj. It's trash. It really doesn't me in returning to a show that's already been dead. I could think of a lot of different other places they could have done, but like I said, it's trash to me.
Okay. So it really doesn't help the show. And pretty much, we're all in agreement. It doesn't really help a contestant because it's all of the same difficulty, no matter which category you pick.
That's right.
Yes.
At least that's what you think, Matthew.
With Matthew on that simple fact, but that's it.
Okay.
Okay. All right, then. Here's the other thing that they changed from this season. The half card tags are gone.
Half card tags are gone.
Whoa.
Is this smash or trash? Let's Charles, start with you.
Trash, man. It was trash from the beginning when they announced it like 3 years ago, and it's trash now.
Okay.
You know what they
Watch.
should get? No, they should get rid of the freaking express wedge.
We'll touch on that here in a couple of seconds. Watch. Removing the half card tags from the wheel. Smash or trash?
Well, that's not really surprising considering that Sony's resources have continued to dwindle ever since that whole email hacking incident about 3 years ago. And really, that I'm guessing that they're continuing to lose sponsorships as you see more cash values on the bonus wheel. You're seeing a lot less car envelopes come up. So, and although I was never really too keen on this concept itself, since the tags would keep going in and off the wheel as the rounds go on. It became more difficult to keep track of, even if once a tag was left on the wheel, once one person had it, it became kind of moot. So really, it's a trash for Wheel of Fortune, but again, I was never too big of a fan of it to begin with.
Same.
Okay. All right, then Scott, removing the half card tags from the wheel. Smash or trash?
Trash for removing it. within rounds 1, 2, and 3, you had a chance to win a car. Anyhow, if you didn't make it to the bonus round, you had a chance to win the car if you got both half car tags. And
Yeah, but then again, the car they always had in the main game was a cheap $12,000 or $15,000 car.
And they're offering $30,000 and $40,000 cars in the bonus round.
Yeah.
I think they should bring back the shopping round.
Nah,
Antonio, smash or trash removing the half car tag.
I'm gonna agree with everyone. It's trash. It's trash. But I was probably one of the few people who actually liked it to have car on the wheel.
Okay, while we're on this subject, is it time that Wheel of Fortune does away with a trip as the featured prize and just make a car the featured prize? Is it time that Wheel of Fortune does that, or should they just leave the featured prize a trip? Charles, you first.
To be honest with you, I'm not even sure.
Okay.
It's just like for like if you want to do like a car be like the featured prize on like Press Your Luck. Like for round 2.
Well, they did have a car on the board in the round 2.
Yeah, pretty much. So
and even on Whammy, the all new Press Your Luck, they essentially had the same car concept as the half car wedges.
Pretty much so. I think they
Matthew,
need to.
Is it time? All right, Matthew. Now, same question to you. Is it time that Wheel of Fortune just does away with the trip and make the car the featured prize?
I think they need more than just trips and cars. I mean, they have Sony owning them. They should have Sony products as prizes.
They need to bring back.
So you say,
they need to do like
we go back to the 80s and we put a prize on the wheel for each round.
Well, not necessarily for each round. I think there's just need more diversity in the prizes.
Yeah, they need to do like a surprise round again.
Okay.
Bring back the surprise round.
I don't think surprise is going to help. I just want to see more than just cars and trips.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Because round 2 in the during the 90s was a prize round.
Right. Okay. And Scott, same question to you. Is it time for Wheel of Fortune to do away with the trip as the featured prize and just make the car the featured prize?
I'm going to have to agree with what Woj said. Not just a trip or a car. Back in the early days of Wheel, have like a prize for every.
It was furniture. I remember.
Yeah. Like I was saying,
have something like that, or bring back the gift tag.
Or bring back
like a gift,
or bring back the shopping round.
Or like a gift.
The shopping round.
No, that wastes time.
No, we couldn't go back to that.
Yeah.
Not with the way sponsors are these days. We couldn't go back to the shopping format. Even
or
if
how about or wedge set itself that's like a $100 Sony gift card or Best Buy gift card to like a store or something.
Now that might work.
Get rid of the free play wedge.
Whoa, now wait a second. We'll save that for another time. And we could spend the entire show talking about this.
That should be a topic for another show about Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah. Antonio, we'll wrap this one up with you. Is it time for Wheel of Fortune to retire the trip as the featured prize and just feature the car as the featured prize?
I'll have to agree with everybody. To me, it's just I just need more variety with Wheel of Fortune. If Sony is your main source of income coming in, hey, tap into what Sony has. I mean, I don't like to see the same thing over and over again in every episode.
Okay.
Hi, Keiko.
Now, as far as we have seen, there's been no real changes to Jeopardy this season. Heck, they haven't even changed the set in like 2 or 3 years. We know no big rule changes have come. No money amounts have been changed.
No new soundtrack.
Yeah. Charles, is it time for Harry Friedman to freshen up Jeopardy a little bit, or is it fine the way it is?
I think it's fine the way it is. Hang on. And guys, I'll be back. I'll log on my phone.
Okay. All right, then, Watch, we'll go to you. Is it time for Harry Freeman to freshen up Jeopardy a little bit, or is it fine the way it is?
I don't think it needs anything too drastic
Guys,
to
can I take the
happen.
camera off of me? I gotta go eat. Okay, I'll be
All
back.
right, we'll see you later. Thanks for being with us, Charles.
Yeah, so really, he doesn't really need to do much. I mean, once they get a new champion in that's going to win 10, 20 or more games, then that'll get everybody talking. That's what usually gets the public excited about Jeopardy in the first place.
And we
also,
know that's going to happen at some time this season.
yeah, I mean, the only thing I could possibly think of is that maybe there could be just, small prizes attached to the daily doubles, but really nothing like that. Too drastic,
Okay.
that is.
All right, then, Scott, is it time for Harry Freeman to freshen up Jeopardy a little bit, or is it fine the way it is?
It's fine the way it is. Like the old saying is, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
I mean,
like the one thing that they could bring back is, for second place gets 2, third place gets 1,000, and like what they used to do back in the day, have like a trip or something attached to second and third place.
Yeah,
Bring back the prizes for the ones that don't win.
Right, but they still get to. But they would still get to keep the 2 and 1,000. They would still get to keep their $2 and $1,000.
Okay.
Hello, Christian.
Ah.
Goodbye, Christian.
No, he was with us and he left just as fast. Antonio, is it time for Harry Freeman to freshen up Jeopardy, or is it fine the way it is?
I think it's fine the way it is. Nothing needs to be fixed. It's fine the way it is.
It's been almost the same since 1964.
Now, the only real change they've really done to the show in the last 3 or 4 years is they eliminated the co-champions rule. Was this a good thing or a bad thing? Watch.
Well, first of all, I think they were just, again, like I said before, I'm going to sound like a broken record here. Sony's dwindling resources have forced other cutbacks, and this is a more subtle cutback to Jeopardy. Since, I mean, I liked it when they have more than one person come out. I mean, you could wager intentionally on Final Jeopardy to make that happen. I know Arthur Chu did that once, but again, I guess it works. It's all about looking after yourself and playing for yourself. So in that case, it's a smash.
Okay. Scott, should they bring back the co-champions rule?
I'm going to agree with Woj on that one. Maybe if Sony stopped, if things got better with Sony, then yes, maybe in the future they can bring it back. So it's fine the way it is.
Okay. Antonio, same question to you.
I wish they bring it back, but like Woj said, Sony is cutting back on a lot of different things, and you see it everywhere.
I mean, you can see it more with Wheel of Fortune than Jeopardy.
Now, this brings me to one more Jeopardy point I'm going to make. Waj, is it time for Sony to eliminate the Tournament of Champions as an annual event and just make it an invitation-only event held every so many years?
No, I think it's fine that they keep it every year, although sometimes it doesn't happen every season. Just so, I mean, on one year it can be in February and then in November, just until they have enough long-running champions there, since it's really determined by how many games they win. And I think it's fine having it every year.
Okay. All right, Scott, same question to you. Is it time for Sony to just make the Tournament of Champions an invitation-only event, or is it fine as a yearly event?
As a seasonal event, it's good to start off the season with it.
Okay. Antonio, same question to you to wrap it up.
I have no problem with it. Let it be the way they've been doing it, and let it keep on going.
Right. There are several other questions I could ask about this, but we'll save it for another time. Now, no real big changes was made to Family Feud this season either. The only major change is it's back to being filmed in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Is this good for Family Feud or bad for Family Feud? Watch.
Well, not so much for this daytime syndicated feud, although I think it's easier for when they do Celebrity Family Feud in the summer, since it'll be easier for them to get all the celebrity families to come in, and also with Steve Harvey's talk show, I think, moving to Los Angeles as well, and Thunderdome being there, it just makes it easier on the personnel and the production in general.
Okay. Scott, same question to you. Family Feud being filmed in Los Angeles again. Good or bad?
Good. I mean, if Steve Harvey's show is moving out there to California, it means he doesn't have to travel as much.
Okay.
Things right there in one spot, so it makes travel for Steve a little bit hectic. The word I'm looking for.
Okay. And Antonio, same question to you. Family Feud being filmed in Los Angeles again. Good or bad?
It's good, like everybody said. It makes it easier for Steve because most of his shows are taped in Los Angeles, so it makes it easy drive for him.
Although what's interesting is that Burton Richardson has not returned to the daytime show, even though he still does Celebrity Family Feud.
Now is it time for Burton Richardson to return as the announcer of Family Feud? Watch.
Yes, definitely. He consider it's a job he had for many years. He still has plenty of energy to do it. He feeds off of Steve very well. So yes, it is time to go back to the daytime show.
Okay. Scott, same question to you. Is it time for Burton Richardson to return as the announcer of Family Feud?
With Woj in this one.
Okay. And Antonio, same question to you. Is it time for Burton Richardson to return as announcer of Family Feud?
Really, I don't care who's the announcer. As long as they good, they're okay with me.
Okay. Now, here's the obvious question. I wasn't even going to address this, but may as well. Well, Steve Harvey as host of Family Feud. Keep him or trade him? Watch.
That's a tough call. I mean, on one hand, he has completely resurrected the feud after John O'Hurley left, since it's reached ratings heights that it hasn't seen since the days of Ray Combs. And personally, I think
days of Richard Dawson, we should be talking about here.
Well, if you look at the way the ratings were at the time, pretty much everything took a downturn when the Bullseye.
Yeah,
both times, might I add. Yeah, so really, I mean, it's really more the Bullseye round that was to blame for that. But I think Steve would have been hampered with that. But he really does have a lot of charisma there, really roots for the contestants to win. Although I do think he relies on the same shtick a little too much. But considering he has 2 Emmys on his shelf, what do I know? So
2 Emmys for Best Game Show Host.
Yes. So I'd say, for the sake of the show, he should be kept.
Okay. Scott, same question to you. Steve Harvey, Family Feud host. Keep him or trade him?
Keep him. Keep him, but get rid of those the naughty questions.
I mean,
okay, so yeah, when I asked this question a couple of weeks ago, we were kind of all in agreement. The show doesn't need these questions.
Well, at least not to the extent that they do it.
Okay, that's true. Antonio, we'll close it out. We'll close this line of questioning out with you. Steve Harvey as hosts of Family Feud. Keep them or trade them.
Keep them. The ratings are telling you that he's the reason why people are tuning in every day. So keep them.
Okay. And Brian Zapinski is with us. Hey, Brian, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I finally managed to make it in here in some way, shape, form, or capacity. It's been
Real quick, Brian, keep an eye on the video chat on YouTube.
all right. Even if like I said, I'm not going to be able to stay the whole time here, but for even to that extent, I'm still making sure to keep a lookout, because yes, I know there's a certain somebody lurking there. Yes, we see you. I'm not, and no, you are not getting your name acknowledged. So,
by the way, in case you're wondering, say hello to my cat. This is Riku. That she just hopped off. Okay.
Hey, if my kids can invade these podcasts, so can your cat.
Hey, what about my cat?
I was just about to ask, where is your cat right now, Scott?
On the floor, minding
Okay.
minding my poker chips.
Okay, then. Now that Brian's here, let me address the reality section of tonight's podcast. The 12-year-old ventriloquist Darcy winning America's Got Talent. Good or bad? Matthew.
It was good. She, being the third child winner, after Bianca Ryan and Grace Vanderwall, third ventriloquist to win. I think that field of competition, she deserved it.
Okay. Scott, how about you?
Saw the episode where the first time she got on, she got the golden buzzer. Power to her with that. It's a dying field and everything. So even though the show's over, I'm still giving her a standing ovation.
All right, then. Brian, Darcy winning America's Got Talent. Is this good, bad, and where does she go from here?
Well, I'll fully agree with what Scott said with regards to the fact that, she's still getting standing ovations now. And you got to consider the fact she's only been, doing this with with ventriloquism for 2 years now. So that's highly impressive that she's developed, such a skill, such range in terms of being able to do this, vocally. And even if you watch the final voting performance on Tuesday night, the idea of being able to sing the song and jump between two different voices, because she had both of her main puppets out and stuff like that. The only thing that scared me, if anybody watched the performance last night, hang on.
Yeah, I did that. I watched the encore. If that had been a voting night, she would have been in serious trouble.
Oh yeah, because those of you that didn't see it, she got to perform, as I fully expected all season, with Terry Fader, and her Petunia rabbit and Winston the impersonating turtle. They did a back and forth where they went to sing Anything You Could Do, I Could Do Better. And Darcy started the song and she screwed it up. She actually started to sing Anything I Can Do. And the moment she said that, she clammed up, and the whole rest of the line wasn't sung. It was silent. So it was a very awkward moment. And like I said, it makes you glad that final night of encores is not voted upon. So, but make no mistake though, a lot of people had Darcy pegged to win from the moment she stepped on the stage. And between her and Angelica Hale and Mandy Harvin, the deaf singer or whatever, this was a very tough year to predict, but the right person won, admittedly.
Darcy, she got Mel B's golden buzzer. Am I right there?
Right. That was Mel B's golden. Yes.
Yeah, she got Mel B's golden.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then Mandy Harvin, the deaf girl, she got Simon's buzzer. And the one who came in second, the 10-year-old girl, Angelica Hale, she got Chris Hardwick's golden buzzer in the second rounds, in the knockouts. So
Okay, Antonio. Darcy winning America's Got Talent. I don't know if you saw it last night or not, or if you saw it on YouTube today. Good or bad for the show?
I did watch yesterday. I caught it towards the end, anyways. But anyways, she was bound to win since the day she walked on the stage the first time, and everybody had her pick since day one. So good for her. Sky's the limit for her.
Okay, now let's go to you. Let's go back to you, Watch, for this next one. Where does Darcy go from here?
Well, I'm just wondering if she'll be getting a call in soon enough, or maybe in a few years, from the Jim Henson Company after she just finishes her Las Vegas run, or maybe finishes school.
why do you figure that, Matt?
Well, again, this is just a hypothetical scenario here. I'm just trying. Maybe I'm looking too much into the future, but I mean, I could see her just performing on stage in different places around the world, just pending if her agent or her parents will let her perform as much as she does. But I think it could, if she wants to remain relevant, she wants to continue to develop her craft, she needs to keep performing.
That I can see that. Yeah, it's interesting actually that you mentioned the Henson Company, because a lot of people forget it was sort of because of Henson. That's how Terry Fader got started years ago. Because if you remember his story, he originally wanted to do Kermit because he could do the Kermit voice, but the Henson Company wouldn't let him do Kermit. That's how Winston the Impersonating Turtle came to be.
Oh, why didn't they call him when they fired Steve Whitmire just recently?
Yeah, that was shocking for a lot of people that he's gone now from the Henson Group.
Okay, Scott, where does Darcy go from here?
I'll agree with Woj that maybe there's a job. Maybe she'll get something with Jim Henson.
Okay, Brian,
So-
where does Darcy go from here?
Well, I just have one question in general with regards to it, because I'm not sure how the mechanics of this work. I know that in obviously part of the what is it part of the prize obviously is that you have the headlining act in Vegas for the year, but how does it work for the youth? Because obviously she's only 12 years old, and
She is allowed to accept the prize. Only her performances are cut back considerably. Instead of, doing 3 or 4 shows a week, she'd be limited to 1 or 2.
Okay, yeah. And I assume while she's there, there's obviously got to be some sort of like homeschooling or tutoring, like you see with all the like with all the child stars you see on TV and things like that. They would have something set up for her, I would assume.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Now remember, that the $1 million prize, you can take it in an annuity in 40 payments, or you can take it as a one lump sum, which comes to about $700,000.
Actually, I was hearing this morning, because they were talking about it on CBS FM radio here in New York. They were talking about. I think they said the lump sum actually was only about $350.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, it works like any Mega Millions lottery.
Just take Mega Man and
Okay. Antonio, question to you.
that's it.
Wrap it up for this line of questioning. Where does Darcy go from here?
After her Vegas show, I would think she would keep, crafting her talent down the road. But I would hope she does, but I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, I think the most important thing would be for her to finish school first.
Here's my own personal question. This is my own personal question. No one really asked this. I know everyone here is familiar with Lamb Chop, Charlie Horse, and Hush Puppy. Is Darcy the next Sherry Lewis? Watch.
Wow.
Ooh, that's
Good question.
Interesting logic there.
we're already looking 30 years into the future. So again, so she'll eventually have a couple of TV shows on. And
Maybe a
I-
special.
Yeah, could seem very possible. And you figure maybe after this year-long engagement in Vegas is done, maybe perhaps then there could be a period where, like, as she's continuing to go through school, maybe like during the summer months, Terry Fader can bring her into his act just for like limited engagements, just so she can stay in front of the public eye, perhaps.
Yeah, and considering that usually if you expose kids that age to fame too much, they often crash and burn later. So maybe if she just maintains control and not expose herself too much, then yes, she could be the next Sherry Lewis when she becomes an adult. So, but if she's going to continue to perform show after show, appear on one TV show after another, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's switch subjects here. American Ninja Warrior. As much as I wanted it to happen, we didn't have someone go all the way and win the $1 million prize. Brian, what happened this year?
Well, I'll tell you this, and if you want to flip it over to my screen or whatever here, just to make sure everybody can see it. Yeah, we had a few the finals which took place this past Monday night. Yeah, unfortunately, nobody made it through the whole thing. But the big killer happened in stage 2. We had, I think this was a record. I think we had 41 out of the 100 that made it to stage 2. I don't think we've ever had a higher number than that. But a couple new obstacles in stage 2, one of which was damming the entire night or whatever. The first picture that you're seeing here, Dave, I make sure to save this one for you. You remember
That's the salmon ladder. We all know that.
Now, you remember how flabbergasted you were last year when they made the down-up salmon ladder, right?
Yeah, I remember that. I'm like, now you've got to go down this thing as well as climb it.
Yeah, well, that down-up salmon ladder was one and done, because now what you're seeing here in this overhead shot, this is the crisscross salmon ladder now that they debuted. So
you're joking. So now you've got to go back and forth on this thing.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, you see the lower ones here on the bottom of the screen. Yeah, those are the ones you start on. Then you jump to these middle ones up here, and then the final ones are up here at the ends. They're kind of a little off screen at the moment. So yeah, this kind of borrows a little bit from the swap salmon ladder that existed in Japan for a couple of years. It kind of plays off of that general idea and stuff like that. So just to give you the idea, a couple people were actually were managing to skip rungs pretty well. There was at least 2 people that managed to actually just make 3 jumps, and they had the whole thing done. So that was impressive in its own right. Okay, but here's the one that was taking so many people out in stage 2. It's called Wingnut Alley. Now, I've got a couple of pictures of this so you can better see it. There's a total of, you see these little T-bars here or whatever.
Yes.
You see, right? And and when you grab them, you could swing them, back and forth with the momentum. There's 4 of them in the thing, because you got the one that the demonstrator guy is on here, and you got to jump 12 feet to the second one over here. Now I'm going to flip over. Now I'm going to flip the next page. You're going to see this is Joe Moravsky, who made it further than anybody else in the middle of his run. After the second one, which is on the right side of your screen right now, then you have to jump the next 12 feet to this one, which is perpendicular to where you are. So you're jumping to it head on. So you swing on that, and then the 4th one over back center in the pick, that one is also perpendicular to you. And then you've got one final, I think it's about 12-foot jump to the platform that's over on the right underneath the red over there.
This is a stage 2 obstacle.
Yeah, this was a stage 2 obstacle. Out of the 41 competitors who took on stage 2, 21, including Drew Dreshel and Brian Arnold, were taken out by this obstacle.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's more than half of the
This
field.
one was the killer this year. Far and away. Yeah. And And if that wasn't enough, then we moved to stage 3, which Joe Moravsky did clear stage 2 along with 2 other people. Only 3 people survived stage 2. And at the end of stage 3, toward the end, were 2 other new obstacles here. The first one that you're seeing kind of the ends here, this was called the peg cloud. There was a series of about like 8 or 10 of these red pedestals here, and kind of like some other peg obstacles that we've seen. You can see the demonstrator here. He's got the little pegs that you got to kind of hook into the wall, into each peg wall and stuff like that. There's only one hole in each one, so you're kind of like working your way around. It's a very tricky maze. And then right after that, immediately you transition into the other new obstacle. This is the next to last obstacle on stage 3 now. It's called the time bomb. The way that it works is you see how the demonstrator is holding. Now those rings that you see there, they're only 3 inches in diameter. And you've got a series of 6 hooks, counting these first 2, that you have to maneuver, and hook one ring, the ring to the next hook, and so on like that. The trick with this, and Joe Moravsky managed to reach both of these obstacles. He fell on the time bomb when he missed one of the hooks. But one of the big keys about these 2 obstacles, they're in the middle of a 4 obstacle stretch where your feet are not on the ground. So you're staying in midair the entire time. And we know that stage 3 is entirely upper body. So to do that is incredibly taxing. So
now, still, stage 3 still has no time limit. The idea is just to finish it. You're not racing the clock.
Right. Yeah, even stage 2 is a 4-minute time limit now. But you could see with some of the obstacles that they had to do in stage 2, you kind of understand. But Joe Moravsky recognized that his arms were going to be killing him very early in that stretch, because you have the curved body prop, then the peg cloud, then this with the time bomb, and if he had made it to the flying bar for the last thing. So to kind of work his way around that, there were frequent times, like you'll see in this last picture here, well, while he was on the peg cloud, he found ways to get one of the pegs in, let go of it for a second, hook both of his legs over the peg they had there, and just let his arms hang so he could get the lactic acid out and keep his arms fresh for the next obstacles. He was handling it very creatively, and like I said, if he hadn't missed, like I think it was either the 4th hook on the time bomb, it was very conceivable he would have had a shot at the final tower. But alas, it was not meant to be this year.
Now, stop me if I'm wrong. The grand prize for beating this thing is still $1 million, right?
Yes, it's still $1 million. And after what happened 2 years ago, when 2 people both made the attained total victory, Jeff Britton and the ultimate winner Isaac Caldiero, they determined the $1 million winner by who had the faster time up the tower, which was Isaac. A lot of people cried foul to that, so they changed the rule, and they said that from now on, if it should happen somehow again that more than one person should achieve total victory in the same tournament,
they'll share the money.
They'll split the prize. Yeah.
And that's right.
Actually, no. I think in Japan, everybody gets their prize individually. I don't think it's a split.
But still, the grand prize is $1 million if you can beat this thing.
Yeah. So
we're counting on you, Brian. You do it.
Me? You are crazy, buddy.
Okay. Matthew, from the pictures you have seen, and I don't know if you're a Ninja Warrior fan or not, but from what you've seen, were these obstacles, these 2 particular obstacles, from the way they were described, do they seem to be a bit...
I'm back.
Welcome back, Charles. Do they seem to be a bit too hard, or is it right along the lines of, hey, this is for $1 million, this is supposed to be hard?
Well, to answer your first question, I am not a Ninja Warrior fan, but going based on the pictures there, I think that for an obstacle course that's as difficult as it is, and for the stakes that it's for, and having $1 million rarely be won. I think it's fine the way it is.
Okay.
How much
All
would
right.
that be in yen?
About 100 million yen.
Yeah, somewhere about there. Yeah, somewhere in the high 90s. Yeah.
All right then. Scott, were these obstacles too hard, or were they just the right difficulty? Considering we're saying, hey, this is $4. It ain't supposed to be easy.
Good question. I'm gonna have to say. Yeah, it's $4 million. Difficulty, you can't make it too easy. You got to make them work for it.
You're right. If you want to do anything in life, you got to work for it.
Yeah.
All right then. Brian, same question to you. Were these obstacles just too hard, or is it along the lines, hey, this is $4 million. It ain't supposed to be easy.
Well, hey, I'll tell you something. We've been, as is evident from the immediate switch 1 year later to the with the salmon ladder and stage 2 and stuff like that. You notice how from year to year, both in the qualifying courses and now especially as you see it in the finals courses, we're really borrowing a page from from Japan, and we are not giving the contestants at all any shot at complacency with some of the obstacles and some of the expectations, because like especially on stage 3, it's like most people have a pretty good idea of if they make it that far. They're like, okay, I know I can get the floating boards. I know I can get the key lock hang and stuff like that. And the cliffhanger, I've practiced that a zillion times. So what the things I really got to worry about are the last few obstacles there. But you notice how even those are evolving. And sometimes, like in the Japanese tournaments, they're quick to turn obstacles over. Especially in stage 3, as soon as somebody conquers something, they want to get it out of there because they want to make sure to keep the challenge, keep them guessing, keep them adaptable and things like that. And really, if you want to call yourself a ninja warrior, adaptability is going to be the big key of the game. So I don't blame them for doing that one bit.
Yeah, I got a question, Brian.
Go ahead.
Well, what if one of the stars from the Japanese Ninja Warrior was there to be coaches for them?
This year you're talking about?
Yeah, this is a big what if, though.
Well, you got to understand, we've had we do those world competitions now after the initial,
After the season
is done, where the Japan comes over, and I'm trying to think. Usually it's it's usually another country or stuff like that, because I know Europe is before. I'm trying.
What about my boy Shingo Yamamoto? I want to like to see him in the American version of Ninja Warrior. He's my man.
Well,
we know Australia is getting
in the first U.S. first Japan tournament. I remember he competed in that. He might have come over for another one. Don't remember, but I know that they. No, he didn't do the second time.
Oh, I was going to ask. He's the one that's been in every single.
Yeah, he's been in every single Japanese.
He's been in every single season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and I'll tell you something. One of the things we know that's hampered Shingo a lot over the years is that in one of the early tournaments years back, he made the final tower, but he ended up dislocating his shoulder. And when he was doing the initial spider climb, and occasionally that shoulder injury has hampered him every once in a while. I'm worried now about Drew Dreschel here for us, because when he failed on Wingnut Alley, when he went to jump for the last one, he actually, with his right arm, he jumped so far, he hooked it with his right arm. And from if you know of anybody falling downstairs and grabbed the railing, that could be a major
whammy, that has to hurt.
Hurting afterward. So
Charles,
whammy. Whammy, that has to hurt.
Okay. Yeah,
Charles. Now to you.
I hate to cut this short for myself, but I got to bail on this one, so I will catch up with you guys later on.
What do you mean?
Okay, thanks for being with us, Brian.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Okay, Charles. Now to you.
Yeah, what's up?
You the Wingnut Alley and the time bomb hooks on the American Ninja Warrior course. Are they just too difficult, or is it along the lines of, hey, this is for $1 million. This ain't supposed to be easy.
This is for $1 million. Go for it. Work
Yeah.
hard for it. Work hard, play hard, be hard, go for it. You can do it.
Okay. And now, Antonio, same question to you.
For $1 million, you're supposed to make it as tough as possible. You have to earn, and nothing is out there easy for you nowadays.
Exactly.
Okay. Now let's go. I don't know. Before we spend the last 30 minutes of the show talking about a game show alumni, we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap up the first half of the show with this question. Dancing with the Stars. I'm not sure who's in the season this year. You're the only person I know in the season.
From WWE. I know Nikki Bella's in it.
If you want the full list, I can give it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, Nikki
Go
Bella's in
ahead
it
and
this
do
year.
that then, Charles. Who's in the cast?
There's
Okay, Nikki
Victoria
Bella
Arlen,
from the WWE.
Okay.
Victoria Arlen, Bara Corcoran, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Derek Fisher, Jordan Fisher, Debbie Gibson, Nick Lachey, Vanessa Lachey, Frankie Muniz, Terrell Owens, Sasha Patiers, Drew Scott, and Lindsey Sterling.
Okay.
I want to see Malcolm in the Middle win it this year.
Okay.
Nikki Bella's my pick.
Watch realistically. Who has the best shot of winning the mirror ball?
Easy.
Realistically,
I'm not realistically. If we take into popularity and dancing, who realistically has a shot at winning this thing?
And then,
if I were to take a guess, I'd say Terrell Owens.
For me, it's
really?
Drew Scott and Nikki Bella.
really?
Okay. Scott, realistically, of those stars, when you count in their dancing ability and their popularity, who realistically has a chance of winning the mirror ball?
I'm going to say my money's on Frankie Muniz.
Oh, you're still going with Frankie Muniz.
Well, for me, it's either Nikki Bella or Lindsey Sterling.
I'm still going with Malcolm in the Middle.
Okay.
Nikki
We're still
Bella.
going with Frankie Muniz. Charles, who realistically has a chance to win this?
Either Nikki Bella or Lindsey Sterling.
Or
Okay,
better yet, Scott, would you like to
Now,
see
I would consider Lindsey Sterling an outside chance. Why are you saying she has a realistic shot of winning?
Well, because she's a musician. That's why.
Okay. All right. Last question to you, Antonio. Who realistically has a chance of winning the mirror ball?
I'm going with Debbie Gibson. Why I'm going with her is because she's a musician and she dances. So you know dancing people or music musician people go really far in Dancing with the Stars anyway. So
that and athletes?
Okay.
that too.
Yeah, and also, Scott, would you rather see Frankie Muniz on Celebrity Big Brother this January?
Oh, that's something we need to talk about. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up, Watch. We'll actually talk about that.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was.
Realistically, so I'll ask all of you at once. I'll ask all of you. Watch. Who would you like to see in the cast for Celebrity Big Brother? It's the first time the U.S. has done it.
Dang.
Well, considering the fact that this guy has already been on lots of different shows, basically personality-driven formats, and this show is no exception. The first one that comes to mind, Stephen Baldwin.
You really would put Stephen Baldwin in the Big Brother house for 90 days.
Well,
You little?
Yeah, considering he's done Celebrity Mole a couple of times, Celebrity Apprentice a couple of times, I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here, and lots of other shows. There's nothing he won't do.
Okay.
That's right.
All right, Scott, what
Anything
about
for
you?
quick-
Who would you
anything
like
for
to
quick
see in the
million
Celebrity Big Brother cast?
Let's see. Since what's on Celebrity Big Brother's on CBS.
Yep.
What's her name that hosts it? Julie Chen.
Julie Chen.
She had to take a pick. Oh, here's something. This just broke before we went on the air. Her husband,
let me
who is the
get
president
my.
of CBS, Lester Movies, I'm not kidding here, told her this is not a real season of Big Brother. You've got to take a pay cut to get this show on the air.
Good God
I would like
Almighty.
to see her, Drew Carey, Wayne Brady,
No.
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, and since this
I don't
is she's
know.
taking a pay cut, that means this is going to be a shorter season than usual.
Right. We're not
Maybe
talking contestants. We're probably talking 7 or 8.
maybe
Bobby Moynihan.
Annie Duke, who was on the final episode of 1 versus 100, the professional poker player.
One of the best female professional poker players in the world, actually.
And maybe Ken Jennings. I'd like to see Ken Ken and Brad do this as well.
I would watch that.
What about
That would be an interesting show. That'd be an interesting Big Brother. Charles, who would you like to see on Celebrity Big Brother?
I would go one better. If he was still alive, Michael Larson.
Oh man, that would be an interesting concept because he looked for the loop in everything. Everything he did.
And he could do it again, considering they all do almost the same challenges every season. He could pull another
Larson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Antonio, who would you like to see in a season of Celebrity Big Brother?
I don't know. I just personally, to me, I'll have to wait until the cast is out before I make any judgments on if I'm going to tune in or not.
Okay.
Because I feel like we're going to get a lot of C-list and D-list celebrities on here.
All right.
Like who?
Are we gonna? Do you think we're gonna see B-listers, C-listers, or D-listers? Why?
Not really any A-listers though, unfortunately.
Well, I think more C than B, but I think we'll be lucky if we get 1 or 2 Bs.
Okay. Scott, what do you think?
Mixed
B,
bag of
C's, or
fun.
D's?
Maybe I say a mixed bag of fun.
Okay. Charles,
say
what do you
go
think? B, C's, or D's?
Mixed bag. I say it's more of a mixed bag.
So you think we get a mix of B, C's, and D's?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Antonio, what do you think will happen?
Like I said before, we're gonna see a lot of C, D celebrities. I read somewhere earlier this week that they was thinking of this idea since season 2 of Big Brother. So
Bring
Well,
back some
now
of the
it's about
classic
to happen.
contestants like Chicken George.
Okay.
I would personally like to see Julie Chen participate in this.
You'd
I'd
really
like
like
to-
to see Julie Chen put her money where her mouth is and actually go in the Big Brother house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they can call
Sorry,
in.
Julie Chen, you have been evicted from the Big Brother house.
Yeah, they can call in Jeff or Phil to take over for her.
Jeffy!
No, I say if they're gonna do that, they should get Sharon Osbourne to host it.
Sharon!
Okay. Now that we've covered pretty much Smash or Trash for what we've seen this season so far, let's talk about game show alumni.
Okay.
And
game
this is
show
the
alumni.
subject
Where's
that you suggested, Scott.
Yes.
So
Well,
I'll let
this
you.
idea-
So I'll let
Go
you take point blank. I'll let you take point on this one to start. Go ahead.
Well, I actually got the idea from a YouTube channel called WatchMojo.com. They did a top 10 video of celebrities that were on game shows before they became famous. This idea comes from that top 10 list.
And we were talking, me and Scott were talking about this before the show, but Mike Hordnick, a Gemini for American Gladiators, was on Press Your Luck.
Yes, he was. Actually, he was a champion of Press Your Luck, if I remember that right.
No, I don't think he won.
Did he win or did he lose? I'm not sure.
He whammied.
Oh, he whammied out.
No, he didn't whammy it out. He whammied.
Well, did he win or lose? That's the question.
Lose. He lost.
Yeah, did he win or lose?
He lost.
Okay.
But he has a better win-loss record in Joust.
That's,
That's for sure.
Well, I say we kick it off with the first man who won the car, first undefeated champion, and an announcer, Randy West.
I wonder whatever happened to him.
Well,
I don't know.
how much time do you?
Obscurity.
How much time do you have? How much time do we have to explain what happened?
We have all the time in the world, Woj. We have a half hour left.
Yeah, we have a half
Hey,
hour
Brian,
left. So, Watch, go ahead. If you know some of the shows that Randy was on before he became a game show announcer, list off a few. We all know he did the final episode of Hitman.
Yeah, that's 2. He did All Star Blitz.
He did
Okay.
PYL.
He did What's My Line.
I just mentioned that.
Oh, my bad.
He did a show called Sweethearts. Charles Nelson Riley.
He didn't do body language, did he?
So Press Your Luck, Hitman, All Star Blitz, What's My Line, Sweethearts, Face the Music.
He did
One of
face
Scott's
the
favorite
music.
shows.
I didn't know that.
That's one of my favorite game shows.
Yeah, one of Scott's favorite shows.
That's one you've been bugging Brian to do.
I didn't know
Well, it's all-
Randy did face the music. I haven't seen that episode.
It's just that no one has been able to find his episode.
Oh.
And
Was he on like a Name That Tune as well?
No,
Yeah,
he
so
wasn't.
it's
I
done
mean,
by-
that's all I can figure out.
Oh,
Okay. Now,
Oh, to tell the
we know
truth.
we won.
To tell the
We
truth.
know we won on some of these. We know we lost on some of these. I
Yeah,
know
he
we won. We all know he won the final episode of Hitman. We all know he was the first undefeated champion in Press Your Luck's history,
and first
I'm
person
the
to win
first
the
to
car.
win the car.
and the first person to win the car.
Yeah.
Uh,
And he got 3 votes on To Tell the Truth as an imposter.
So, how much money did that win in, though? How much money was that?
We're not
2,000
worried.
bucks. You were guaranteed 1,500.
Yeah,
2,000.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was 500 for every incorrect vote. You were guaranteed 1,500.
Okay, so these dang.
2,000 at the panel was stumped completely.
And that's it.
3,000 if you stumped them all.
I was on that version of the show.
That's not bad.
Okay. I know he won one. I know he won one match of All-Star Blitz because I've seen a screenshot of him playing the Blitz Bonanza. I don't know if he won, but I know he made it there.
I think
All Star Blitz is a good show. I never watched it. I never watched All Star Blitz.
I think he said he won about $12,000 on All Star Blitz.
Okay, then he must have won the Blitz Bonanza at least one time.
I never seen All Star Blitz. What happens in that show? I never seen it.
We'll
It's
talk
kind
about
of a
that.
variation of Hollywood Squares. As a matter of fact, it's hosted by
Oh.
Peter Marshall.
Oh.
Okay, here's another one. As a contestant on Price is Right.
Yeah, how long do we have to explain what happened to her?
Yolanda.
She came on down and never got out of contestants row, and then went over to Wheel of Fortune. End of story.
Oh, that girl.
Yolanda. Yolanda.
What was her name? Watch.
It wasn't
I
Yolanda,
remember-
was it?
I remember something about her.
Yeah, I remember when she had the cleavage part in that episode of Price is Right when they're
Person.
dang it.
Well, she did. I think the only thing she did was a movie called Goddess of Love.
I kind of remember her saying something along the lines that she was from South Carolina or somewhere there. But most of these contestants, they're on Price is Right once, and you never hear from them again.
Except for Linda Cardellini and Aaron Paul.
Aaron Paul. I'm trying to think.
Up real quick that Brian just posted. The Come On Down and They Came On Out episode turns 40 this week.
Oh, that's true. It does.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about with Yolanda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about somebody else.
So here's my question. I'm not sure if you consider this to throw in there, but at the time of Soap, Billy Crystal setting the record for pyramid.
I'm
Oh,
going to
God.
say no.
That
No.
record has went untouched for 40 years. I don't think it'll
But
ever be touched.
do we consider Billy Crystal to be put in this alumni thing
No,
Yes,
he was
he-
already a celebrity at the time.
as
He
well?
was already a
But he-
stand-up comic by that point. Okay.
Jenny Jones was also on
Seriously,
press.
Vanna White is probably the most famous alumnus from
Yep.
the Price is Right.
Yep.
Yes.
She only appeared on one episode, but I don't think she got a contestant's row, did she?
No,
She
she didn't get out of contestants row.
But she
As a
won a
matter of
prize
fact,
at the end of the
Bob made
show.
it
though.
a point. In the 25th anniversary special of The Price is Right, they showed that clip of Vanna coming on down.
That's cool.
Bob said, and poor Vanna never got out of contestants row. And he said, I wonder whatever happened to Vanna White.
Wheel of
Yeah,
Fortune.
but just be thankful that Linda Cardellini and Aaron Paul did as well. They actually did get out of contestants row.
What games,
something
seeing
fine
that
as
you mentioned
well.
that, what game did Linda play? Or do you know?
I'm not sure about Linda. I know Aaron Paul played the dice game.
I'm not sure. All right, here's one. I'm not sure if we could consider this an alumni. Consider him alumni, but I'm going to mention his name. Travis.
Shario.
He was, or now he's known as Travis Griffin. He got on the stage and won his game of 7 of Lucky.
Well, he may be a
Well-
celebrity to us, but not a celebrity.
Well, no,
Greg. I
Right.
mean, Scott. I got some. Brian just texted me. 2 more celebrity cameos. Pro wrestler Brian Kendrick was on Price is Right a couple years ago. WWE former ring announcer Lillian Garcia was on the College Rivals on this episode of past spring. And yes, Mark DiCarlo was on Sale of the Century as well.
Now, those aren't exactly celebrities. Those are well-known names. That Mark guy, he's well-known in game show circles because he was, no,
Yeah, he hosted Studs.
Yeah.
he hosted stuff.
my question is, all right, in the UK, would we consider, what was his name?
Simon
The guy
Cowell?
that Simon Cowell. Do we consider him a celebrity?
Yes.
We could because he was a champion of Sale of the Century in England.
Yes.
And he wasn't bloody awful at that. He wasn't awful at that at all.
No, he was actually a very smart guy.
Yeah, but I think his role was pitiful.
A reversal
And then,
of fortune.
of course on Press Your Luck we had Jenny Jones.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Up the end, and the end dropped off of her thing that said spins.
that wasn't her.
That was the board.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
mean-
if you, yes, David.
Is it? Watch. Let me ask you this: was in the 80s anyway, in the 70s and 80s, was it common for people trying to break into show business to actually be on game shows?
Well,
I don't know.
It was hard to be on one that wasn't the Gong Show or the Dating Game, because a lot of people from Gong Show and Dating Game went on to be famous.
Like
Bob Saget.
Oh, Bob Saget.
I remember him from Make Me Laugh.
and how about Pee Wee Herman?
You mean
He was
Paul,
on
I
both
don't
those
remember
shows.
what show he's been on.
Paul Rubens?
Yeah, he was on
Who
both
was-
those shows.
Paul Rubin twice.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking of, what was his name? John Ritter, Steve Martin have both been on the Dating Game when they were struggling.
Arnold.
Well, Arnold was already famous.
Yeah, but he was
he
also
just-
on the dating game.
He was just playing for a girl backstage.
Okay.
But we can still consider Arnold to be part of the alumni group.
Yeah,
Because
considering
remember at that time he would already, I think he already won the Mr. Universe contest at that time.
Now,
yeah,
Now, the alumni group is rather small. I will admit that.
Right.
But which one of them, in your opinion, has left the biggest mark that everyone would remember if they saw it on TV right now? Which one of the alumni would everyone point and say, hey, I know that guy?
Billy Crystal setting the record on Pyramid.
We've already established we're not including that.
Right. We're not
I would have
including Billy. We're not including Bill.
to say Randy West being undefeated on press.
Okay. Matthew?
Well,
your
I
thoughts?
have two going from both one side and the other side. On the game show side, we have Vanna White being the biggest name that's come out of game shows as a civilian. And on the reality show side, I'd have to go with Elizabeth Hasselbeck from Survivor.
Finished 4th in Survivor 2 and then went
The
on
Australian
to
outback, the Australian season.
Yes. And would go on to be a superstar talk show host.
Here's one from our silent producer, Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad.
I said that 3 times.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Magnets.
Now,
Yo, Gatorade, we whammy.
there was one contestant from the Big Brother series. She would probably be the most famous reality show contestant. If you saw her, you would know her. She never did Survivor, but she's done 2 seasons of Big Brother and 2 seasons of Amazing Race.
Shoot.
Rachel Riley.
Oh, brother.
She is.
Me and Matthew.
Nobody
do.
gets between,
All right.
nobody gets between me and my man.
Yeah.
Why you're little?
But what makes her such a competitor is that in her first season of Big Brother, she was voted out. She was the first member of the jury. They brought her back the following summer, wins it all. They bring her and her boyfriend onto the Amazing Race, where in the 2 seasons they competed in, they made it to the final leg of the race.
Oh, whammy.
She would be probably the most famous of the reality show contestants from CBS's three big reality shows.
Yeah, I think she's been on more shows than Boston Rob at this point.
What about Mike the Miz Mizanin from the Real World?
Oh, that's a good. Well, again, Real World is not a game show.
Right, and we're talking game shows here. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing about Rachel Riley, Viegas, she's hyphenated now, is that she's someone who comes in, she's a no guts, no glory player. She pours her heart into everything. You can see the passion in her eyes, and also still trying to keep her relationship with Brendan, who is now her husband now. So,
Ooh.
and they now have a kid.
Yeah, and that's the thing. She met her husband as a contestant on Big Brother.
Wow.
Her husband, Brendan, was a contestant on her first season of Big Brother.
Hey guys, did you see the new Funny You Should Ask? Did you guys see that show, Funny You Should Ask?
Not yet.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Well, Brian just texted me about that. Asked
No,
me
it's
if we could talk about that if we could.
Yeah, and now Brendan just finally got his PhD degree.
Why you?
Brian just IM'd and said that Randy West was the second retired champ.
Who was the first?
Some
He was
guy
the
named
first?
Robert.
Robert Ennis.
Got it. Okay.
So Robert Ennis is another game show legend we should talk about.
Okay. We'll take it from there. There, go ahead.
Robert Ennis was actually the first 5-time Press Your Luck champ. I don't think what else happened to him after that. I don't know what else happened to him after that.
Oh, well, what does Ask Jeeves say?
Or Google nowadays.
Well, is that
Google says stop at a whammy.
is that the same Robert Ennis who's the director of Wheel of Fortune?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, so that's what's become of him.
Yeah, so basically
Okay,
he's calling
he
the
was
show.
qualified.
Yeah, albeit behind the scenes, though.
He was behind
I
the
mean,
scenes, but he would.
But that would also go for the same for Travis. Then he was a contestant on Price is Right, and now he works in the game show industry.
Now he develops his own flash versions of game shows as well.
Yeah, but something I'd like to talk about now is someone who was actually on a show when they were a kid and went on to be super famous afterwards. From I'm Telling, you had both Paul Walker and Giovanni Ribisi as contestants.
Yep. Paul
I don't know
Walker,
that.
Guys Who Stole. So I remember he was on. I'm Telling. I think he was competing. Was he a civilian back then, or was he playing for charity back then?
He was a civilian, and so was Giovanni Ribisi.
Yo,
Okay, so
Gatorade.
they were actually playing for the right to compete for those prizes.
That's correct.
Hey, David. Yo, Gatorade me, whammy.
Oh, I have no idea what that means.
That means, yo, Gatorade me bleep, like on Breaking Bad, his show.
Scott, did Paul Walker win his episode of I'm Telling with his sister?
I think they made. I don't think they made it to the bonus round.
Yes.
Yeah, just right now I can tell you that Paul Walker did not win.
Well,
Did Giovanni?
basically, I'm Telling was like a kid's version of
And Giovanni, I don't know.
But you can accurately say Paul Walker didn't win.
Hey, David.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm Telling was basically a kid's version of the Newlywed Game.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I'm gonna get back after I'm done, Greg. Hey.
Oh God.
Now I'm gonna mention. I really don't know if we should give the viral video. These contestants that have went viral for wrong reasons. I don't know if we should call them game show alumni.
No.
Right.
Oh, you mean like the one guy say, like what Ken Jennings said, "What is a hoe?" When they're talking about the gardening tool from Jeopardy.
I don't know about that.
No,
That's a stupid.
Yeah.
That we'll save that for Cindy over in Game Show Garbage.
Yeah. I'm talking about contestants that have won on Price is Right for the sheer purpose of trying to get a viral YouTube video.
Oh, are you talking about the woman who bet 420 every time?
Him and a few others.
But Danky can't.
We should save that for another podcast, Dave.
What about the contestant that was on Jeopardy during the final Jeopardy question? Like, who is Danky Kang? Who is Princess Zorda?
And Keebert Zella?
Yes, Granny.
Yeah.
You know who she is.
We'll save that for another episode. We'll do. I guess, Dave, if you're fine with it, we'll do.
But you know where she is.
We'll do our
In the
own
bed.
video of.
That's a beautiful thing.
Game show
stupid-
fails. Game show fails.
Of stupid answers.
And game show fails.
We're gonna have to do that one time.
Yeah. We'll
got the tone for that.
have to see if we can get Cindy to join us for that one too.
Game
Okay.
show fails and bad answers.
Matthew, in short, because we got about 10 minutes left, how is the 2017-2018 season shaping up?
Well, we're a couple of weeks in. We haven't really had any big moments happen, no big champions. We had a new pricing game that really hasn't made an impact yet. So
Fleshed out yet. Hasn't been fleshed out yet. I understand.
yeah, so
Yeah.
and I would say that for the rest of the season so far hasn't been fleshed out yet.
So
Okay.
basically, it's been like so far been a washout so far, but we're not sure yet.
Okay. Scott, your thoughts. How we're only 2 weeks in. How is it looking so far?
I'm going to have to agree with Woj. We'll have to wait and see until we hit the midterm.
Okay. Charles, same question to you. How is it looking so far?
I had to agree with the guys on this one. We're gonna see how it happens.
Okay. Antonio, same question to you. How's it looking so far?
It's too early to tell. Wait till like November or around that time.
Probably it's released around April or something.
Now Jeopardy has already given a clue that there's going to be a big champion sometime this season. Should have Harry Friedman held that back from the promotional material for Jeopardy?
Oh, geez.
Well, I mean, I think almost every champion we've had thus far that's been won 10 games or more was basically a secret from the public. So really, now that we know that, we're just going to be waiting to see if each one that comes is going to be the person, and
To pull another Ken Jennings.
and also we're just waiting to see how they play the game, just to see how aggressive they are or how knowledgeable they are. So yes, I think it was unnecessary.
Okay.
So
Scott, do
basically,
you think it was unnecessary that Harry Friedman used that little tidbit for promotional purposes?
I mean, considering
Yes.
how the rest of them were mysteries, I mean, he didn't need to do that.
No, I agree with Woj 100%. It should have stayed a mystery. It should have stayed inside case number 13 and not been open.
No
Okay.
spoilers. Harry Friedman, you just made the list.
And all right, then we know your thoughts on it, Charles. Antonio, your thoughts. Should Harry Friedman held that back?
Well, I'm the lonely wolf in the room. It kind of got me excited to watch when that time comes. I'm usually banned spoilers. I don't like them, but now it gives me that little of when it's going to happen, so I know I can watch.
Now, I wanted to bring this up because we have talked about, Jeopardy has pretty much been constant the last few years. The only real change they have did is the elimination of the co-champions rule. Matthew, question time. Is it time to reinvite the team tournament champion back to the Tournament of Champions?
Well, if you notice that it has never happened that the team tournament champion has actually made the finals. There have been several that have made the semifinals, but not them, I think. And I don't mind.
Teachers tournament? What about the teachers tournament?
The teachers tournament gets an automatic invitation.
And so does the college tournament. So,
yeah.
I still think that, I know it seems like they'll just be, cannon fodder or shark bait for the rest of the champions, but
Or obsolete mules, like Brother Nero.
But if they're going to bother, bringing in the college tournament and teachers tournament, they might as well just bring them all in.
So you think they should invite the team tournament winner to the Tournament of Champions again,
or the kids tournament, or the kids tournament?
Again, it may happen one day. There's a first. Some have come close, so it could happen that they make the finals for once.
What about
Scott? Is it time for Jeopardy to reinvite the team tournament winner to the Tournament of Champions?
Yes. But I think the reason they're not doing that is because of the prize money involved in that.
I think that has nothing to do with that.
The team tournament is what, a $100,000 grand prize?
I think so. I don't know. It's been years. And funny thing about that, I actually up to representing my high school for the auditions for the teen tournament when I lived in Philly and Jeopardy was coming to Philadelphia.
Yes, you are correct. It's $100,000.
Well, wait a
So
minute. Wait a minute.
So I was close to getting on Jeopardy.
Wait a minute. Time out. Instead of doing a tournament of champions, bring back Super Jeopardy for one season.
Yeah, we've already had enough.
It's been done 4 times.
We've already had plenty of alumni tournaments, and we're just waiting about 5 or 10 years for the next one.
Right. It's been done 4 times. You have you had Super Jeopardy, the
Ultimate Tournament of Champions, the Battle of the Decades.
10th anniversary, $1 Million Masters. So
yeah, that's the one I was talking about. $1 Million Masters. You had Super Jeopardy, $1 Million Masters, the Ultimate Tournament of Champions, and the Battle
What's
of the
in the IBM Challenge?
That doesn't count.
We're talking about alumni tournaments from the entire series. Not
Watson can be an alumni.
Ones that we always see Brad and Ken always end up in the finals.
Wait, we can see Watson being Jeopardy champion until the series ends.
Antonio, is it time for Sony to reinvite the teen tournament champion to the Tournament of Champions?
Yeah, if everybody else from different tournaments are getting invited in, why not add the tournament? I mean, team tournament, champion.
I agree with you on that, Antonio.
The only one, as a matter of fact, it's the only one of the tournaments where the winning player is not invited to the Tournament of Champions.
The kids tournament.
But that's not even a tournament. That's just a week-long competition, and the kid that wins the most money during the week gets a trip for 4 to Disney World. That's not really counts as a tournament.
Oh, I don't know. Just throw my 2 cents in there. That's all about that.
Okay, Matthew. Is there any other specialty tournament that Jeopardy should make? We'll close with this.
Well, let's see. I mean,
in the next couple of years.
I got one while we're just thinking.
Well, something I know they've done weeks for in the past, and I don't know if they've really committed to a full tournament. Maybe a military tournament?
Now, that's an interesting one.
What about a Jeopardy senior tournament?
That's been done.
Yeah. I got one.
Okay, Scott, take it away.
Since it's out there in California, and we know that Comic-Con is big out there, a Comic-Con edition of Jeopardy for a week.
Oh, that would be awesome. I'd love to see that.
Sounds more like a spin-off than a tournament.
Yeah, that'd be a spin-off.
And being better. Greg Wicker hosting it.
No.
Antonio, one specialty tournament for Jeopardy. Realistically. What do you think they should have?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think we need one more. I think we are fine with what we have already.
Okay, and we'll end on that, folks. It's been a great conversation once again, and a very best thanks to my panel, Matthew Wojcik, Scott, Charles, and Antonio. You guys have been great tonight. Folks, keep looking up, keep watching the Lost Silver Productions Facebook page for the date of our next broadcast and the subject of our next broadcast. And please stay tuned in the next 2 weeks or so for our next convention attention. And thank you so much for being with us tonight. Until next time, I'm David Hammond. Good night, everybody.
Good night.